Hello, and this is the Simply Free Little Talk. And I have a wonderful guest on the show today, one who has a strong passion and a desire to see youth doing outstanding in life and that they to win. He wants them to win. So today I have Mr. Greg Wilson on, but I want to say this disclaimer on behalf of Simply Free Little Talk that we do not condone any behaviors of anyone because we can't speak for anyone. We do not support the comments or opinions of others. We just want to bring forth the truth on the truth of the matter. And let me bring in Mr. Greg Wilson to the show. Welcome to the show, Mr. Greg Wilson.
Thank you, Miss Little, for having me on. Thank
It
you.
is a pleasure. It is a pleasure. I
Yeah.
love your passion for the youth. And when you reached out to me, my thoughts were this is an opportunity for a man who I know have a serious passion and love for youth to
Yes.
speak to the youth beyond just the borders of Galveston County. But
Yes.
now you have an opportunity to share with them life truth. That's why
Yes.
we're on the truth of the matter. So
Yes.
without further ado, you are Iron Man's mentor and you work with youth. So just share with us about what is Iron Man all about.
Okay. Well, Iron Man is a program where we try to have after school tutoring. We try to mentor the youth in not going down that wrong road.
Awesome.
Uh, we want them to learn from our wrongs and try to make their life right.
Yes, that's it.
And so we want to feed them and encourage those youth that anything that they have planned that they can do it, long as it's positive. And so um, Iron Man, we really want to try to reach out to those young black men who sometimes get bullied, those
Yeah.
that kind of struggle with like mental health and those things that they can't talk to their parents about maybe. And
Mm,
so we just want to be that mentor and be that black male mentor that they can come see and they can talk to.
that support system
Yes, yes,
that,
yes.
that may or may not be already in place.
True. Yes, yes.
So you actually undergird and support the parents as well.
Yes, 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 yes. We want to always try to provide anything that we can that can
Mhm.
add to any family. And so we want to make those youth feel comfortable and knowing that they can turn to us or they can call us.
Oh, that is just awesome. And I know understand that you actually work within the community, like the police department and other parole or probation officers to help with your youth when they are find themselves in some type of trouble. Hi, Greg. How you doing? Greg is on the line, and I'm so Greg Bill.
Okay. Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Yes, yes. I love it that he joined us. So
Okay.
apropos for such a time as this. So with your community participation like that, um, seeing this incident with Will Smith and with
Mhm.
Chris Rock last night, can
Yes,
you
I'm glad.
share how important it is that we bring forth this type of awareness to our youth?
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm glad that you brought that up.
Mhm.
First, I don't condone any of that, and I don't choose sides. So I'm not saying that Will was
Absolutely.
wrong, or I'm not saying that Chris Rock was wrong. Um, but what I will say is for our young black kids, but us as black men too, don't get it misconstrued about what Hollywood is. Okay,
Yes, say that.
don't get that misconstrued. So the reason why I wanted to speak on this is because I want the truth to
Yes.
come out. First truth is you wouldn't be able to walk back to your seat if you was another black male. Okay, you would be put in handcuffs. Okay, so
Absolutely.
in doing that, I was seeing a bunch of women saying, if my husband not like Will, if he
Mm,
don't take up for me like this, and what's going to happen is that we are going to get a bunch of people hurt. We're going to get a bunch of people hurt. And it kind of hurt me because I know in our black community, when things happen, the first thing that we want to do, we want to call and then say, let's pray. But prayer is always great, and we all need to pray. but we have the tools to take care of things before they start. And so I didn't want that image to be lingering in black males' mind, because if you put your hand on someone, it's not going to turn out like that. It's not. It's not. And you're going to have a place where they're going to put them cuffs on you, and you're going to have to go to court. You got to go to jail. You may end up with some kind of record, and that's something that we don't want that our youth to have.
Absolutely. And I totally concur with the fact that we are not condoning anyone's behaviors or decisions to act in a violent manner at all. We know that in this society, that's why we're on the show, Truth of the Matter. Truth of the matter is just exactly what you stated. If I or yourself was to go and strike another person, handcuffs will be applied immediately.
Yes.
Especially in any setting. That's exactly it. So, it is unfortunate that it happened, but it's a teaching moment. And I applaud you, Mr. Wilson, for desiring and have a love for youth to want to come on this show, Simply Free Little Talk, to share that, hey, I want my youth to understand this behavior is not acceptable at any place, at any level. And this is a difference, Hollywood and today's society.
Yes, and I'm the last person that can judge any man or anybody. But due to my mistakes, I'm able to help someone else. And so this behavior, you can't do that anywhere. And you can't let the false Hollywood get you caught up in something that can change your life forever. Because if you put your hands on somebody, you can best believe it's a different thing going on. Okay. And so to all my black women, believe me, if you have a husband, boyfriend, I'm pretty sure that they will protect you, but don't allow them to step over that line and get you and him hurt. Because if you touch the wrong person, it's going to respond differently. And so let's stop that right now. But
that's an excellent point. And I'm glad that you stated it like that, because for myself, I wouldn't want anyone to be inflicted by a bullet because, as you said, it could have escalated more beyond just a slap.
Yes.
And people react differently. I commend Chris Rock for his stand to just continue on and not allow himself to release any retaliation, and he continued on. I'm not saying that either one was right or I don't even have a side as you did. I totally concur with that position to take. And I believe that's all of our positions to take. But again, that's my opinion. So that's not like I rule the world. However, your stance today to come on, your compassion is obvious, that you're here to talk to the youth and speak to them. So I don't want to stop you. Please share with the youth again. I know you said some great things, but share with them the consequences of the reality, the truth of the matter. That's why we're here, the truth of the matter. What would happen if, say, two young men are in the street or in a restaurant together and one strikes another?
Yes. And getting on that, I would say this, and we can go forward. Anybody that saw what happened last night knows that there's more going on within Will. It's more going on. And I think that mental health is very important. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care where you stay. And we all have bad days. Like we all have bad days. So nobody is pointing a finger. Believe me, right? But we will talk about Kanye West. We'll talk about Antonio Brown. But anybody know last night we saw that he has some more things going on. So to answer your quick question, if you was in the streets and it was two black males or whatever the race.
Yes, whatever the race.
Okay. If you put your hands on somebody and the police is called, you will go to jail. You will go to jail.
Yes.
And by you going to jail, you already have any kind of record. So I don't want that falsism of what Hollywood showed to hurt our youth, because if you put your hands on anybody, you going to jail. You're going to jail.
You are. You will go to jail. That's correct.
And so I think inside Texas they have charges like assault with bodily injury, and it can go further. And you won't be able to walk back to your seat and pretend like there's nothing wrong, okay? Because you're gonna be in handcuffs. And so I just want the youth to know that violence is not the way. And I wasn't always like this. So
that's good. Bring out that point, Mr. Wilson. Share with them the history of why you are so passionate about children not resulting in incarceration because of the actions that they've taken. There's consequences to your actions. Please elaborate on that.
Sure. Okay. So I grew up with two great parents. I grew up with two of the best parents that this world has ever seen. Awesome. So my dad taught school for over 35 years, George Wilson. And my mom recently passed some years ago. But Miss Kathy Compton, she is like my angel, right? And so in dealing with that, my parents tried to give me the best lifestyle that they could, and they did. And so this is going to answer some things too, that your kids' lifestyle doesn't always reflect how the parents raised them.
Thank you for stating that. Can you reiterate that, Mr. Wilson? Because
I would try.
Yes, but parents, I've heard it. You've heard it working with youth, where it's the parents' fault or the upbringing. But you can be in the best environment, as you just stated. Prime example.
Our parents do their best. Yes. And so my mom and dad gave me the best lifestyle. They gave me the best of everything that I could do, but I still chose. But one of the things that I will point out is at the age 12, I was like 6'3". And so I first dunked a ball when I was in the 5th grade. And so I kind of got big headed. No, really.
I appreciate that. Yes.
Really. So I was 6'3" at the age of 12. I played all kind of sports. I dunked the ball when I was in the fifth grade. And so life became kind of easy and fun. I was used to that kind of stardom type thing. But at a young age, I started selling drugs. I started getting involved with the street life. And so I kind of started selling drugs around 11 and 12. And yes. And my parents, they didn't know. They didn't know.
Now, let me interject this. You were gifted and talented in basketball. You had the height for it.
Yes.
You were being recognized for the skills you had at a very young age, but yet your choice was to sell drugs in an environment, as you stated clearly, your parents didn't even know.
Yes. Look. Let me share this brief story. Okay, so I went to a school called Heritage Christian Academy. Okay.
Yes, I do recall the school. Yes.
Okay. And my coach, one of my mentors, and this is why mentors are so important, but his name was Bishop Lewis. I think he recently passed some years back. And so I always wanted to play pro ball. In my mind, I just wanted to play pro ball. But one day he called me in his office and he was sharing with me how you can go overseas and play. He said, you can go play semi-pro and they pay good. It's a good lifestyle. It's a way to get out this town, travel, and go meet new people. But in my small mind, all I wanted was the NBA. Okay. And so this coach took me on a tour. We went to Howard College. We went to Georgetown. We went to Baylor. We went all over. And in doing that, I still came back and wanted to get back on the streets. And so my parents, they didn't know because I was making good grades. I wasn't getting charged with any crimes, but I was still selling drugs, and I was still getting caught up in things. And so you can have the best parents, but sometimes as kids, we still choose to do something different from what we was taught. And so I think that that's more on the kids than the parents, if that makes sense.
I do understand that. And so what you're working with youth on a daily basis, you do. And so you are able to impart the wisdom and your own personal experiences of what you experience. So how is it that, or how you go about approaching a child that tells you the exact same desire that you had, knowing that your mindset was limited? So how do you go about not ministering, but just communicating with that child on a level to say, I really understand what you desire to do?
Yeah. Well, you know what? And it's okay for you to say minister, because even a kind word is still ministering to them.
Absolutely.
So now I will say this. I want my friends and families to get off them pews and get in the streets. We need to get out in the streets.
I can attest. I can totally agree with that one. I want to say this before you go with how you minister to the kids or how you give good words. I love that you said Veal still ministry because it's good words. Because you have some comments. There's Greg stated, Veal said that it's peer pressure. Miss Leah said, we always think our parents aren't as smart as we are. So this is why some of the youth, so you have people agreeing with you in the comments. So continue with what how you would approach this child.
Okay. So being that we are right here at Galveston County, normally we get phone calls, and we get phone calls say, y'all, let's go pray for this thing here, or let's go do this. In truth, we should already be out there trying to learn those youth. And we should be trying to have some kind of relationship with those youth. Now, I'm not telling no one to go on any street that's dangerous or do things that they may not want to do. But I think that for me, I would try to build some kind of friendship with that child. I would try to relate to his life, and I would try to befriend him in a way to let him know that there's a better way, that we can do things in a new form, and that you can look at my life and you can look at where I went, and I can tell them, well, you haven't been my age, but I've been yours.
Yeah.
And so by telling them that, I would share that I went to jail, prison at the age of 20. I didn't return home till I was 38. And so due to some things that I've done, and so I want to always make sure that kids don't make that same choice.
And I do appreciate your transparency and the fact that you have such a passion. Let me state this, everyone, on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube and other stations that we're connected with, HPTV. You have to know that here's a gentleman that's personally lived out what he desires to prevent youth to experience. And he's coming on, he's transparent, and he's sharing with parents that are there. You're also speaking to those that are in the ministry, and you're sharing with them. You need to develop a rapport with these children. It's an established relationship. And you're correct. Mr. Greg Veal says, I just avoid it 54, never been in jail, not going to let someone make me do something I don't want to do. That's wisdom, because we are in control of our own vessels. You stated yourself earlier that it was the decisions. Miss Leah Austin says, be a doer of the word and not just a hearer of the word. So that's alignment with what you just stated, Mr. Wilson, that you want the people inside the church buildings to come out and connect with the children that's out in the society.
Yes. See, it's very important because, okay, like, you know what? I just had this event where I met this doctor, and she wrote her second kids book. And so through our program, we was able to buy 30 books, and she came out and she read the book to the kids, and she signed the book, and she gave it to them. So one of the kids that was there was a 15-year-old girl. And not to tell what she has going on, but one thing she said was She said, "Can I help through your program?" She said, "I'm on probation." Okay. And of course, I asked her, why you on probation? She said that she was fighting this girl, and the police officer or school officer came to grab her. She didn't know that was the police, and she turned around and swung and hit the officer. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. But she's on probation. But she's on probation, and she is 15. And so that goes back into what I'm saying. Like, don't think that you can put your hands on someone and it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine because you're gonna pay a price. So with these youth, I really want them to understand that you have a life to live and you don't have to get involved with the street things. And you can go to school. But I understand that today's time is totally different.
It is. It's so much different than when you and I were growing up. And I'm a little older than you are. But see, what we had that I see the difference. The police officers knew us. The police officers knew the area they worked in. They had a rapport with the community. And also we had educators and people like yourself that worked the community, and they did know the youth and they knew their situation. And I recall you even mentioning that there were individuals you had that were mentors that took time to put into your life. Yes. So I commend you for what you're doing. And I know that I love the fact that you just had a community event. I actually post that on your poster because people need to know that Iron Men is out here making a difference in the lives of the youth of the community. So it was crucially important to you. And I commend you for the compassion that you have to want to take that extra step and say, I want to speak to the youth today. I want to let them know that this is unacceptable and that there are consequences to your actions. So please continue if there's anything else that you want to add to speak to you today.
Well, we all can fall short. And so I want to make sure that that's clear. Like, we're not pointing fingers.
Not at all.
I'm the last person that can even try to do that. I still make mistakes daily. But one thing about Galveston County is when something happens here, we always want to kind of step in late. Okay. And so the way the world is set up now, if you're not trying to live a certain way, and I'm not speaking this over no one's life, I'm not trying to put this on them, but you're going to either go to jail or somebody's going to hurt you. And speaking about prison, I'll just be brief. It is set up and it's designed to bring you there. I know that we have great teachers who try to help us, but the way the system is set up for you to go to school. It's a pipeline to send you to jail, prison, and it's designed. So what a bunch of people don't know is when you go to prison, they make you take like an IQ test, okay? And taking this test, they already know who's coming. They know. So it's kind of designed. Now, of course, nobody can make you commit a crime. I'm not saying that, but they know the communities that we live in, and they know how that goes. And so they already got it designed. They already got it prepared. They got it so designed. They got it designed to where the walk chow lines, like the lunch lines, those are like, and it may seem like it's nothing, but that's like they preparing you for it.
Mentally preparation. It's mental preparation. It definitely is. I know. So yes, continue on. Yes.
Yeah. So my passion is I don't want no one to put their mother through what I put mine through. It's like and she was my biggest fan. She was my biggest fan. So we can kind of stop that now. So these youth, as Greg said earlier, I think he said peer pressure and being bullied.
He said peer pressure. Yes, Greg said peer pressure and the bullying.
Look, that is so hard. That is so hard for these kids. I know that is, man, that's hard. And so I just want to be someone that they can reach out to, because as we said, somebody in our family, whether it's a friend, brother, somebody is going through the court system.
Yes,
Somebody's
they
there.
are. Yes, yes. It's
And so,
relatable. We know.
yes. And so we have to kind of curve that. We have to stop that. So those youth that are on that path, we need to try to step in and see how we can help those.
I appreciate that, and we all know the saying, but it's not a saying; it's a fact. It's a biblical fact that it does take a village to raise one child, and so that means all hands on deck. Everyone should participate. Mr. Wilson, I want to ask you so we can focus more on
Yeah.
Iron Men. I love the fact that you shared with us what you guys just recently did this weekend. How can the community so into Iron Men, because you guys are doing something so great with the youth? You're really reaching out. It's obvious you have a sincere passion, because you wouldn't have reached out to say, I want to speak with the youth today. And I appreciate that. That's strong passion. And I had to comply because it's worth it. It is really valuable. So share with, how can we reach you? How can we sow into Iron Men financially, or even volunteers?
Okay. So at this particular time, due to COVID, we just don't normally do things inside quarters. And so, as much as I would like to be totally involved, I can't fully due to my job. So when COVID started, it kind of shut us down. It kind of shut us down, right? But COVID has also been a blessing too, because when COVID started, I was able to buy my first ATM machine. And in buying my ATM machine, I was able to obtain my Class B CDL license. So I was able to do those things. So right now, we're not up fully active, but I can give my phone number out. I could give my phone number out at this time, and I will go into more deep details on how those that may want to share and help. And you can share my email too.
Okay. I'm actually putting in the comment box now the Iron Men organization. And you want me to go ahead and put your phone number as well in here?
Yes.
Okay. You have to give it to me now.
Okay. 409
Mm-hmm.
934 2368.
Okay. I'm sending that off now for those that are going to view this later, and those that are in the comments now. I was looking to see if there was any more comments made. But Mr. Wilson, you've taken a great stand today, and I commend you for that. Again, I've said that several times, because the passion that you have, you didn't just talk about it, you was about it.
Yes.
And I believe that it's going to reach not only parents, but even those in a community that say they have a love for children. You're asking, just begin to put it to motion.
Yes.
Talk to the youth, spend time with them, get to know them, develop and establish that rapport that they need. You said it yourself, the mentors that help you, that did make a difference. But you mentioned mindset. Can you share, what are you doing as far as a mentor to work with them in regarding the mindset?
Yes. Okay. So I can just share several things, but one thing I'm gonna point out. I think recently I was trying to help this young lady, and I wasn't able to be there as much, and she was sharing with me certain things, but I was trying to share with her the reason why I do it this way is because you want to try to make a bond with that child, and you want to allow the child to process, and you want them to feel comfortable to share. And so just last night, I was on the phone with a young lady and her mom. So I've been helping her maybe for the last 7 years. And so she's 17, and she recently just confessed to me and her mom that she's been doing drugs. Okay. Yes. So she said that she smokes weed to take the pain away.
Yes.
Okay. And so by her sharing that, I think that's big because she felt that it was okay to share that with me. And so by her sharing it with me, I was able to talk to her mom and say, well, we can kind of take these steps, but we don't want our kids and our child to commit suicide, because see, it's easy to try to just tell a child, well, you shouldn't be smoking weed, well, you shouldn't be doing this and that. But that's just an outcry for help. That's all. So I think that when you're dealing with the youth, they have so much going on. And so when they have so much going on, we have to try to not only be that parent, but we have to be that friend too. And because they tell their friends all their business. And so and I know parents kind of hate that term, like I'm not your friend, I'm your parent. And that's cool too. But we want to have an environment for those kids to where they can feel good, that they can say Miss Free or Miss Little, I need help. And so I try to paint that way for them. So the mindset is try to get to know them. Don't come with all the answers. Yeah, don't come with all the answers. Try to get to know them and try to allow them to be open enough that they can share their story with you.
And that's good. That's excellent wisdom. My next question was going to say, give us some more wisdom nuggets. And you really have laid out some great nuggets for the parents to consider. It's okay that you do not want your child to call you a friend. I get that. And I understand what you're telling the parents, but they still have to have an open dialogue with them. Yes, so I appreciate you explaining the mindset to us. And it sounds like you have developed that with your youth that you work with, because for her to reveal that to you, she felt that you were a comfort zone. So you made it conducive. The atmosphere is conducive for them to feel comfortable and open to share with you. So again, I thank you for that. And please leave us some wisdom nuggets before we wrap it up, Mr. Wilson. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay. Well, I will say this, that we are all human. And so we all go through things daily. One thing that I can say is that my father and my mother, they gave me like this pathway. I watched my dad work his whole life, and he don't complain, you know. And sometimes we can be selfish, because I know that I can be. So I'm not gonna hide that fact. But I think that we have to look at other people's lives and know that they are going through something worse, like worse than what we may be going through. And so I saw something the other day, and this guy said these kids don't love themselves, because that's the only reason why they act that way. And so I kind of don't agree with that.
Wow.
I think they do love themselves. I think that we love ourselves so much that it said that we will become lovers of ourselves. And I think that we have become so much in love with ourselves that those things have blinded us to see what Free may be going through.
Yes, that's good. Great point.
Yeah. So I just want to leave with that fact that for young boys, I want you to really consider that I went to prison at the age of 19 turning 20. I didn't get out till I was 38. And you can lose your life from one choice, from one mistake. And so whatever y'all may be going through, I want you to really take time to try to think about what you're doing, and don't lose your life to that kind of way. Don't get put in jail for the rest of your life trying to be tough and trying to prove things. Don't be afraid to say, I need help. And I hope that we create that area in school, wherever we need it, that those kids can just ask for help.
I love that. So the wisdom is that they could create the atmosphere for them to ask and to feel comfortable to talk to you.
Yes.
Wow. Here's another comment before you go. I love that
Okay.
people are having comments. This is from Greg Veal. He says, I talked to my daughter about the consequences of their actions. What could happen if they keep doing it? I'm the parent first, and even I tell a story about if it happened to me.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's great wisdom. So I do believe that this should stir up a conversation in each household tonight. I do pray that this causes parents and what they say, aunties and uncles to come and
Yeah.
start talking to the nieces and the nephews and the cousins, get together. What we used to do back in the day. And I hate to say it was back in the day because
Yeah.
now we know everyone wants to go this way and that way. But the family sat down at the table together, and that was the place to communicate. So again, I want to stress, I appreciate your passion and your consideration for the other kids. You've taken a great stance, and I pray that it has a ripple effect. I pray that once people see the show, that they desire and say, you know, what am I doing? Look at self. Because you made a good valid point. You said, I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm not taking a side about the situation. I'm here to let the kids know the reality of. And so that's why this show is truth of the matter. There's truth to the matter of what really occurs if something like this has happened, say at McDonald's,
Yes.
you know, or at the
Yeah.
football game.
Yeah. And I think that if we look at the YouTube, or if we look at the news, we see things that are going down. And like right here in Texas, they
Right.
just passed that new gun law. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Serious.
Now I'm all for your rights. I'm all for your rights. I'm all for your rights. But when you get yourself heated up, okay, and I still make mistakes today. So I can't sit high and pretend I still make wrongs today. But if you get yourself in a place to where you respond to something so fast that you don't think that one mistake can cost you your whole life. And I want to get back to that. And as we close out, I want to hammer this in one more time.
Hammer it in. Go ahead.
Okay. Please let me hammer it in. It kind of hurt my heart because on YouTube and different things, I saw how Black women were saying, I hope my boyfriend or my will do this. You're going to get your boyfriend hurt, and you're going to get yourself hurt. I think that we understand that you want to be protected. I think any man that's with you, if he understands that, but what it's going to do is it's going to put you in a place where you can be harmed and you don't know what may happen. And so instead of saying, I want my man or I want this person to protect me, let's try to do our best to use empathy and let's respond to it differently. So as I close, I want the youth to know that you can do whatever you want. And don't be afraid to ask for help.
That is excellent. That's excellent. I believe that's the best closing ever to have. And again, thank you, Mr. Wilson, for coming on. He's with the Iron Man organization. You can reach him at area code 409. The number is 934-2368. He is open for phone calls, and I'm going to also come back later and put his email address in. Please also email him. He is a compassionate man, but also his passion, the drive, was to make sure that the youth get this message today. And I think you did an impeccable, you just incredible in presenting your position. And your position is for the youth.
Yes. And yes, and I want to commend you on the great work that you doing too. I think that is great. And and I want to also add one of the things that we do is I try to connect the kids to the parents that's inside jail. You'll be surprised what one JPay will do. And so me and my son recently, I just went to Kansas. And so my son, when I went to prison, he was 5. So when I got out, he was grown. But I just recently went to Kansas and I spent the whole week with him. And so even though I was going that long, I would still write my son, and my son still have those letters. Like he still talks about those things. And so I think that that's important. So even if you call and I don't pick up the phone, leave a text, your name, and I will definitely respond back to you.
Thank you for stating that, because I don't want anybody to think that he's ignoring your phone call. When I turn this way, I'm turning to the Facebook. But yes, I just wanted you to have this opportunity as well. And you did a fabulous job explaining your position and your passion for children, the youth, which is our future. We've gotten away from that in society.
Yes.
To pour into the youth. We want to lock them up and throw away the key. But I would love to have you back on Truth of the Matter, because we both have experience in the reentry field, and it's unfortunate that society has never been told the truth of what really goes on in the prison system. I've counseled for several years. I have 33 years of TDC correctional time and counseling and things, and reentry specialists. And so it's time society knows the truth. So that they won't be so quick to put handcuffs on someone, or quick to have a case attached to someone's name and going through the judicial system, because that's not the answer.
No. And we can definitely follow and we can go more in depth.
Absolutely.
I wanted to save that, but I just wanted to just put out there, I don't want no one to be fooled by Hollywood, and don't get yourself caught up in something, because everybody's not living on that time. Some people gonna say, I got time today, so
yes, that's good. That's a good point.
yes.
But no, the reality of everything that you're saying, and I totally agree with this point, is that you just want our youth to understand that that is unacceptable in the society, the real society. We're speaking of the real society. We're not elaborating anymore on that incident, because that's Hollywood. The real world, that you cannot do.
No.
There are consequences for your actions.
Yes.
We're gonna leave it at that. So thank you again for coming on. I will have you back on the Truth of the Matter, because the truth of the matter, we need to be able to educate our youth, and there are some workable things we can do.
Yes,
we really do. There's some resolutions to this situation. So thank you for your time. Thank you for what Iron Men are doing. Thanks so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, Greg! I'm telling you, Greg Wilson, guys, he just told the truth. Society, you have to abide by the rules in society, in the real world, and I love that. But more importantly, his passion is Iron Men organization is for the youth, for our youth to know that in society there are consequences, but more importantly, there is answers. And he gave us a wonderful example, or I would even say it's a great teaching tool. He said, get connected with the youth, talk to the youth, speak to them, spend time with them, commit to learning your kids, commit to knowing the community that you live in, and let's reach out to our youth, because that was amazing that the young lady shared the truth with him, because he created that safe haven for her. So again, this is Simply Free Little Talk, and we had our guest today, Mr. Greg Wilson. He is Iron Men organization. He's a mentor. He is a compassionate individual for the youth. He wanted today to make sure the youth get the truth. And so we brought him on the Truth of the Matter. You can reach him at area code 409. The number is 934-2368. And I will go back into the comments and put his email address as well for you, so that you can look him up later. Again, I thank you so much for those that have joined the show today, and see you later. Thank you.